You are about to hear a list that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the objects, technologies, and ideas that shape your daily life. Jewish people make up 0.2% of the global population, 2 out of every 1,000 human beings on Earth. And yet the number of things they have invented, discovered, created, and transformed is so disproportionate that when you start counting, you genuinely cannot stop. What you are about to hear is not a myth. It is not an exaggeration. Every single item on this list was created, invented, or fundamentally developed by a Jewish person. And by the time we reach number 1, you will never look at the world the same way again. If you find these stories fascinating, make sure you subscribe to Bloodlines and Borders. We start in your pocket. Number 50. The smartphone you are probably watching this video on runs on technology built on contributions by Jewish inventors at every level. But the specific device that started it all, the thing that made smartphones possible, was the touchscreen interface commercialized by Apple under Steve Jobs. Jobs was not Jewish, but the man who built the company that made the smartphone revolution possible at the chip level was. Number 49. The microprocessor, the brain inside every computer and phone on Earth, was co-invented by Stanley Mazer, a Jewish American engineer at Intel. Number 48. Google. Larry Page's mother is Jewish. Sergey Brin was born to a Jewish family in Moscow who fled Soviet anti-Semitism. Together they built the search engine that processes 8.5 billion searches per day. Number 47. Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, raised Jewish in Dobbs Ferry, New York, Star Wars-themed bar mitzvah, built the social network that connects 3 billion people. Number 46. WhatsApp. John Kuhn, born to a Jewish family in Ukraine, arrived in America on food stamps, built the messaging app used by 2 billion people, sold it for $19 billion. Number 45. The nuclear bomb. J. Robert Oppenheimer, a Jewish American physicist, led the Manhattan Project. His colleagues Edward Teller and Leo Szilard, both Hungarian Jews, were instrumental in developing both the atomic and hydrogen bombs. Szilard was the one who first conceived the nuclear chain reaction. Number 44. The theory of relativity. Albert Einstein. Need I say more? The most famous equation in human history, E=mc², came from a Jewish patent clerk in Switzerland who could not get a university teaching job. Number 43. The polio vaccine. Jonas Salk, son of Russian Jewish immigrants, spent 7 years developing the vaccine that saved millions of children from paralysis and death. When asked who owned the patent, he said the people. He refused to profit from it. Number 42. Chemotherapy. Paul Ehrlich, a German Jewish scientist, pioneered the concept of using chemicals to target disease, earning a Nobel Prize in 1908. Number 41. The cardiac pacemaker. The implantable pacemaker was developed with critical contributions from Paul Zoll, a Jewish American cardiologist. Number 40. Psychoanalysis. Sigmund Freud, an Austrian Jew, invented an entire field of psychology. You can thank him or blame him for the concept of the unconscious mind, the Oedipus complex, and the reason your therapist asks about your mother. Number 39. The cholera and plague vaccines. Waldemar Hafkin, a Ukrainian Jew, developed vaccines for both diseases and tested them on himself first. He moved to India for 30 years to be closer to the outbreaks. That is not a scientist. That is a superhero without a cape. If you find these stories fascinating, make sure you subscribe to Bloodlines and Borders. Number 38. Jeans. Levi Strauss, a Bavarian Jewish immigrant, founded the company that invented blue jeans. Jacob Davis, also Jewish, came up with the idea of using copper rivets to strengthen the pockets. Every pair of jeans on earth traces back to 2 Jewish men who wanted to make pants that would not fall apart on gold miners. Number 37. The ballpoint pen. LSCL Bar, a Hungarian Jew, invented the modern ballpoint pen in 1938. He fled to Argentina to escape the Nazis, and from there his invention conquered the world. Number 36. Lipstick in its modern tube form was created by Maurice Levy, a Jewish American in the early 1900s. Number 35. The traffic light. The three-color traffic signal was patented by Charles Adler Jr., a Jewish American inventor. Number 34. The remote control. Robert Adler, an Austrian Jewish physicist who fled the Nazis, co-invented the television remote control at Zenith Electronics. He changed the way humanity watches television and arguably the way humanity avoids exercise. Number 33. Video games. Ralph Baer, known as the father of video games, was born in Germany and expelled from school under anti-Jewish laws. His family fled to America, and he went on to create the Magnavox Odyssey, the first home video game console. Every PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch traces its lineage to a Jewish refugee. Number 32. Instant coffee. While multiple people contributed to its development, the mass-produced soluble coffee process was refined by Max Morgenthaler, though the first commercial instant coffee was developed by Satoru Kato. The modern freeze-dried process owes much to Jewish food scientists in the early 20th century. Number 31. Superman. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, two Jewish kids from Cleveland, created the most iconic superhero in history. The story of an infant sent from a doomed world to be raised by adoptive parents in the American heartland is, when you think about it, the ultimate Jewish immigrant story. Number 30. Batman. Bob Kane, born Robert Kahn, and Bill Finger, both Jewish, created The Dark Knight. Number 29. Spider-Man. Stan Lee, born Stanley Lieber to Romanian Jewish immigrants, and Steve Ditko created the web slinger. Number 28. The X-Men. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, born Jacob Kurtzberg to Austrian Jewish immigrants, created a team of mutants who are feared and hated for being different. The metaphor is not subtle. Number 27. Captain America. Also Kirby and Joe Simon, born Jaime Simon to Jewish immigrants. They created a character who punches Hitler on the cover of his first issue, published months before America entered World War II. Jewish kids from New York drew a comic book declaring war on the Nazis before their own government did. Number 26. Hollywood itself. As we covered in a previous video, the entire American film industry was built by Jewish immigrants. Paramount, MGM, Warner Brothers, Universal, Fox, Columbia, all founded or run by Jews. Number 25. Sound and film. The Warner Brothers produced The Jazz Singer in 1927, the first feature film with synchronized dialogue. Number 24. Color television was developed with significant contributions from Peter Goldmark, a Hungarian Jewish engineer at CBS. Number 23. Prozac. The antidepressant that changed psychiatry was developed by a team that included Ray Fuller at Eli Lilly, and the underlying science of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors was advanced by Jewish researchers. Number 22. Valium. Leo Sternbach, a Jewish chemist born in Croatia, synthesized the drug that became the world's most prescribed medication for anxiety. If you find these stories fascinating, make sure you subscribe to Bloodlines and Borders. Number 21. The shopping cart. Sylvan Goldman, a Jewish grocery store owner in Oklahoma, invented the shopping cart in 1937 because he noticed customers stopped buying when their baskets got too heavy. Number 20. The Barbie doll. Ruth Handler, a Jewish American businesswoman, created the most famous doll in history. She named it after her daughter, Barbara. Number 19. The teddy bear. Morris Miktam, a Russian Jewish immigrant, created the first stuffed toy bear in 1902, naming it after President Theodore Roosevelt. Number 18. Waze. The GPS navigation app that tells you about traffic and speed cameras was created by Israeli Jewish entrepreneurs Ehud Shabtai, Amir Shinar, and Uri Levine. Google bought it for $1.3 billion. Number 17. The Iron Dome. Brigadier General Danny Gold led the development of Israel's missile defense system, which has intercepted thousands of rockets and saved countless lives. Number 16. The USB flash drive. The modern USB drive was developed by the Israeli company M Systems, founded by Dov Moran. Number 15. The cherry tomato. Yes, really. The modern cherry tomato was developed by Israeli scientists Nahum Kadar and Chaim Rabinowitz at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. You cannot even make a salad without bumping into a Jewish invention. Number 14. Drip irrigation. Simcha Blas, a Jewish engineer, developed the modern drip irrigation system that revolutionized agriculture in arid regions worldwide. Number 13. The birth control pill. Karl Gerasi, an Austrian Jewish chemist who fled the Nazis as a teenager, synthesized the first oral contraceptive. He has been called the father of the pill. One Jewish refugee literally changed the reproductive choices of billions of women worldwide. Number 12. The Heimlich maneuver. Dr. Henry Heimlich, a Jewish-American physician, developed the abdominal thrust technique that has saved hundreds of thousands of choking victims. Number 11. The laser. While multiple scientists contributed, the theoretical framework for stimulated emission of radiation was laid by Albert Einstein. Theodor Maimon, whose father was a Jewish electrical engineer, built the first functioning laser in 1960. Number 10. Nuclear submarines. Admiral Hyman Rickover, born in Russian Poland to a Jewish family, is known as the father of the nuclear navy. He developed the nuclear propulsion system that powers America's submarine fleet. Number 9. Bluetooth. Bluetooth wireless technology uses a system called frequency hopping spread spectrum. This technology was co-invented by Hedy Lamarr, born Hedwig Eva Maria Kiesler, an Austrian Jewish actress who was also, as it turns out, a brilliant inventor. She patented the technology during World War II to help guide torpedoes. The military ignored her. Decades later, her invention became the basis for Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and GPS. A Jewish Hollywood actress invented the technology that connects your wireless headphones. And people say history is boring. Number 8. The weekend. This is not a joke. The concept of a weekly day of rest originates with the Jewish Sabbath, the Shabbat, which predates every other weekly rest tradition in the Western world by over 1,000 years. The 5-day work week that most of the world now observes is a direct descendant of the Jewish insistence that human beings deserve 1 day in 7 to stop working. Number 7. Monotheism. Before Judaism, virtually every civilization on earth worshipped multiple gods. The idea that there is one God, singular, invisible, and universal, was a Jewish invention. Christianity and Islam, which together account for over 4 billion people, are both built on this Jewish foundation. It is arguably the single most influential idea in human history. Number 6. The alphabet. While the Phoenicians created the first true alphabet, the ancient Hebrew script was among their earliest adaptations, and the concept of sacred text that must be preserved exactly as written, which drove the development of literacy across the ancient world, was a Jewish obsession. The Torah had to be copied letter by letter, which created a culture of literacy thousands of years before most civilizations could read. Number 5. Vaccination itself. While Edward Jenner is credited with the first smallpox vaccine, the underlying practice of inoculation was advanced significantly by Jewish physicians, and 3 Jewish scientists, Hilary Kaprowski, Jonas Salk, and Albert Sabin, developed competing polio vaccines that effectively eradicated one of humanity's most feared diseases. Number 4. The atomic age. The letter that launched the Manhattan Project was signed by Einstein and drafted by Szilard, both Jewish. Oppenheimer led it. Teller extended it to the hydrogen bomb. Rickover applied nuclear power to submarines. Jewish scientists did not just contribute to the nuclear age, they created it. Number 3. Modern physics. Einstein's relativity. Niels Bohr's quantum model, his mother was Jewish. Richard Feynman's quantum electrodynamics. Murray Gell-Mann's quark theory. The foundations of modern physics were disproportionately built by Jewish minds. Number 2. The moral law. The Ten Commandments, whatever your religious beliefs, are the foundation of Western legal and ethical systems. Do not murder, do not steal, do not bear false witness. These principles, first codified in Jewish scripture, became the bedrock of laws that govern billions of people. Every courtroom in the Western world operates on principles that trace back to Jewish moral philosophy. Number 1. The idea that every human life has equal value. This is the Jewish invention that changed everything. Before Judaism, human value was determined by power, wealth, birth, and strength. The Jewish scriptures introduced the radical idea that every person is created in the image of God, that the stranger must be treated with dignity, that the poor have rights, that the powerful have obligations. This idea, born in a tiny Middle Eastern tribe, became the foundation of Christianity, Islam, the Enlightenment, the concept of human rights, and the modern world. It is the most consequential invention in human history, and it came from the Jewish people. 50 inventions. From genes to the nuclear bomb, from Superman to the polio vaccine, from Google to the weekend, from the ballpoint pen to the idea that your life has inherent value regardless of who you are, all from 0.2% of the world's population. That is not a conspiracy. That is a civilization. If you find these stories fascinating, make sure you subscribe to Bloodlines and Borders. Thank you for watching. If you want to go deeper, the next video on your screen is one you won't want to miss. I'll see you there.